Hello, Merry Christmas. We're a third of the way there, guys. So today is December 8th, the Stairway of God. Today's reading. Jacob left Beersheba and traveled toward Haran. At sundown, he arrived at a good place to set up camp, and he stopped there for the night. Jacob found a stone to rest his head against and lay down to sleep. As he slept, he dreamed of a stairway that reached from the earth up to heaven, and he saw the angels of God going up and down the stairway. At the top of the stairway stood the Lord, and he said, "I am the Lord, the God of your grandfather Abraham, and the God of your father Isaac. The ground you are laying on belongs to you. I am giving it to you and your descendants. Your descendants will be as numerous as the dust of the earth. They will spread out in all directions, to the east and to the west, and to the north and the south. And all the families of the earth will be blessed through you and your descendants. What's more, I am with you, and I will protect you wherever you go. One day I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I have finished giving you everything I have promised you." Then Jacob awoke from his sleep and said, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I wasn't even aware of it." Genesis chapter 28, verses 10 through 16. You can feel it in your bones sometimes when you stop for a moment, like life's this stairway that you just never stop climbing, this ladder that goes on forever without end. Like all these lists are rungs, like your failures stretch from heaven up to earth. That doesn't make any sense. Like all these lists are rungs, like your failures stretch from earth up to heaven. Like all your rest feels like lying down on an unforgiving stone. Sometimes you're just the most tired of trying to be strong. You have these Jacob dreams, and you dream of what might be. And this is the dream that comes true, that makes all the stressed things come untrue. The real amazing dream is that there are no ladders to climb up, because Christ came down one to get you. Jesus Christ himself interprets this dream. I tell you the truth, you will all see heaven open and the angels of God going up and down on the Son of Man, the one who is the stairway between heaven and earth. John 1:51. Jesus doesn't show you the steps to get to heaven. Jesus is the steps to heaven. Jesus doesn't merely come down to show you the way up. Jesus comes to make himself into the way to carry you up. Jesus doesn't ultimately give you a how-to, because Christianity is ultimately about who to. Every religion, every program, every self-help book is about steps you have to take. Jesus is the only one who becomes the step to take you. To take us who are the Jacobs, the dog-tired and the debtors and the deluders and the desperados. To take us who are the lost and the long way from arriving, us who are bone-weary of all the trying and the striving. Christ becomes the one step we can never take and takes us. He comes to us like he comes to Jacob. He comes to us not in spite of our failings, but precisely because of them. Ours is the God who is drawn to those who feel down. Ours is the God who is attracted to those who feel abandoned. Ours is the God who is bound to those who feel broken. Everywhere, stairways for the sinners. Everywhere, ladders for the lost. Everywhere, gateways to God. This is grace. This is reason to slow. This is not to be missed. Why profane his coming with fleshly performances, frantic pushing, futile preoccupations. Profanity, writes Elizabeth Elliot, is treating as meaningless that which is freighted with meaning, treating as common that which is hallowed, regarding as a mere triviality what is really a divine design. Profanity is failure to see the inner mystery. We could slow and cease the profanity and see the inner mystery of here. Like our own rich variation of the slow food movement, we could begin the slow Christmas. We could set aside the to-do lists that profane the inner mysteries and slow to see the weight of glory in the moment at the sink, the divine design of a day that unfolds with a grace that is not to be missed. The hallowed here. Hurry always empties a soul. Slow. God doesn't want to number your failures or count your accomplishments as much as he wants you to have an encounter with him. The only ladder over you is love, and love came down. If just for a moment you stand in the doorway, linger a bit in front of the tree, it's strange how you can see it, how every Christmas tree is a ladder, and Jesus is your ladder who hung on that tree. So you can have the gift of rest. When you are wrung out, that is the sign you've been reaching for rungs. The work at the very heart of salvation is the work of the very heart of Christmas. Simply rest. Here is holy. The wonder of all this, God looks at you at your lowest and loves you all the way up to the sky. Grace carries you all the way home, like heaven opening up, slow, everywhere. Charles Dickens wrote, "It is good to be children sometimes, and never better than at Christmas, when its mighty founder was a child himself." Anne asks us to reflect, when do you find yourself striving, reaching, grasping for the next rung to try and pull yourself closer to God? How would your perspective on the dailiness of life change if you could see that here is holy? And just take a minute to thank Jesus for being your ladder to heaven and to God. Well, if you've made it a third of the way there, I hope that you can make the rest of it with me, going through The Greatest Gift by Anne Voskamp. As always, more information is in the description, as well as today's suggested listening. I hope that whoever's listening is having a good Advent, and that you're able to slow and rest from all the reaching and grasping that we do the rest of the year. Have a Merry Christmas.